Well, Kansas City Chiefs fans and fans all around the NFL, the Chiefs are back. They got their get right game on one that I don't know that we expected, but they did it in particular by getting an echo here because they were in an echo chamber there out in Las Vegas, and getting that done by breaking the Raiders is really what this comes down to. Are they back for real? We're going to get into our takeaways from this game in particular, and I want to show you something right over here. Welcome to RGR Football. Welcome back. I am very, very glad that so many of you are here tonight. I know it's late. I know we're post game, but I wanted to get you this. This is RGR Football. I'm Ryan. This is me going rogue. For all of you fans who don't know me yet, welcome to the channel. There's a lot of contributors. This is kind of my crew that we've put together over the years to give you as much of a view of what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs as possible. We are here before the Super Bowls. We'll be here long after. And there's plenty of people. I see a ton of friendly faces in the chat. I'm glad that you guys have made it. Welcome. This is the one I had hoped. If you guys heard me on Locked On Chiefs podcast, if you heard me on last night's Thursday night Chief in the North live stream with Seth, you heard me mention a couple of things that, like, there's just something about this rivalry where I feel like the Chiefs generally can get right. Can generally get on their game because there's so much emotion into it. And I feel like there's been so much negative emotion so far this season that getting on the positive side, I think, is really what it comes down to. And that, I think, showed itself tonight. It was not really far-fetched for me. So a lot of positive takeaways. I have my notes here in front of me. We're going to go through them. We'll answer a few of your guys' questions as well. But I do want to say shout out to everybody who's here every week. A lot of new viewers this last week. We do live streams on Monday night and Thursday night, 6 p.m. Central, every week, rain or shine, fog or whatever else you got going on. And then we do this live show. Every now and then you'll get a live film room from Dan, and we'll continue. A lot of our contributors are here in the house tonight. Aaron Morrow, our fearless moderator, is here. I just saw something from Gooch, and I know Stevie's in here as well. There is a bunch of the crew here that puts out content for you all week long. So if you would like and sub and hit the bell notification, we appreciate you joining us. And if you do, there's even more that you can do. We'll get into that in a little bit. The easiest way to support the channel, if you prefer to, we very much appreciate it, is doing this kind of thing with what we call a super chat. And if I can get that to show, there you go. Quentin showed you how to do it. Very, very easy. And especially on nights like tonight, the Q&A is on Monday, and I'll answer every question that we have there that isn't, redundant. So we make sure that we cover all the topics. But if you're going to super chat us, you're going to get the attention you deserve. We appreciate the support. And right here, finally, win that we can feel good about. How about those Chiefs? Do you think the Chiefs is a turning point? That this is a turning point? If you guys saw my film breakdown last Thursday, the one that I talked about Mahomes specifically, Mahomes strikes back. I felt like what we saw that final drive against the Packers, like when they had to close it out, when they had to run their offense efficiently, when they had to take care of business, I felt that was the turning point. Like we were going to see a little bit more of Patrick being himself. I think that's what we got tonight. If you guys disagree, that's perfectly fine. I can understand that. But that's what I saw tonight. And I think that's important. I'm going to narrow this up so hopefully I can show you some of this because this was the key of what I wanted really to highlight that. And we can have arguments all day long about time of possession, all that. It did work out for the Chiefs here. But Quentin, thank you for the support and the super chat. Very much appreciate it. And I think that this is really what shows the turning point when you go down this list. And maybe if I'm quick about it, I can zoom it in. Oh, I can. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to have to scroll a little bit, but it's going to work. So these are the Chiefs' possessions. And you'll notice, for those of you that missed the analytics videos, I just haven't had time to put them together. I'm going to try to get back to that in the offseason, or maybe we can get one of our contributors to start putting that out as well, because this is an important metric here that you see on the top. This is all their drives on offense. And you see that there's generally somewhere between 9 and on a really good day, 12. They ran 76 plays today, and a lot of them took a lot off the clock. But this is how they ended. First punt, I think the penalty kind of killed it, but then touchdown, field goal, touchdown. You did have the Butker miss. That was a little bit rare. And it's funny, I may have jinxed it. I was telling my wife, I was like, he's got plenty of leg for a 46. He could probably hit a 64. It's about the accuracy, and then he misses it. So I'll just apologize now, Harrison. My condolences. That was on me. But then you see again, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. This is making the most of your opportunities. This is an 80% clip here. That's better than if I remember correctly, that's better than any single game they played last season in terms of efficiency per drive. You guys have heard the points per drive. That's been a big topic of discussion here this year. It's going to go way back up here in a minute. You're going to hear talking heads talk about points per drive here in the Chiefs coming right back up. And, they weren't really gone. In fact, Louis Riddick was pretty fired up about making that point tonight because he evidently thought people were running them a little bit too far down. I think we saw the turning point, and this was like the culmination of it, Quentin. This is really what set it apart. So I think it was a team effort. I will tell you guys that. Can it be reproduced? That's going to be the question. I think that it can, although they have a tough contest against the Cowboys coming up. So you got to make sure there. But I do see some chat, and I always have to answer this one because maybe I gloss over this too much. But Chris, welcome. RGR is Ryan going rogue. And that is because I've been on podcasts for the last 10 years where I always have a partner. So I started this channel solo, and now I have 6 partners. There's a bunch of guys that contribute to the channel. So it's really come a long way. But that's the way that it started. I also run RGR Craft, which is about beer and spirits. And I also am about to start a new one. If you guys remember, I've been traveling. You'll see some of my Bills reports from the Bahamas. I was down there when they played that game, and I'm going to start a travel and technology channel as well. So we're going to be branching out a little bit. Gooch, thank you, sir. Gooch, one of our contributors. You saw him on Roguehead Huddle that comes out on Fridays. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I think we got a lot of reaction this week. It was nice. I'm not going to be negative, but the jury's still out on Carr. He is who we thought he was. Laugh out loud, toxic juices flowing. I like it, Gooch. If you want to see the real Gooch, that's what his hashtag join means. If you want to do that, you can become a member of this channel. Members get extra content. They get content from Gooch. They get content from Aaron, our moderator, as well as the RGR crew's picks for all the games. It's been a nice add-on. And to do that, you just click the join button down over there somewhere. If you're on mobile, it's next to the RGR icon. And that gets you a bunch of the extra stuff. You'll get me cussing things out in my true language, not safe for the channel, but behind the members wall, you get a little bit more truth in my reactions. And you'll also get access to the Discord. So if you join at the rookie level or above, you can get into that as well. You just got to email me, and that's really important. I sometimes forget to let everybody know that. If you become a new member and you're at the rookie level or above, you get access to the Discord. That is our private community that Gooch and Aaron and Keys set up and built for us. And that lets just RGR members talk amongst themselves, go over all kinds of things. And to get there, I have to invite you, and it's through rgrpodcast@gmail.com. That's how you get your invite. So, Gooch, thanks for reminding me. I appreciate that. I saw another one, and Stevie Keys is our other guy on Roguehead Huddle. I think I can't remember who came up with that name, but it might have been Keys. But they are partners in crime, and it is worth your time to watch that on Friday afternoon if you have not seen it yet. And he said, I like the idea of wasting blockers by sending Neiman and Sorensen on blitzes. It is. The occupying thing is a term that I've heard before. Wasting, it has that effect. That's certainly true. It was interesting. I didn't feel they needed to blitz as much. They actually blitzed more than I thought that they needed to tonight, but it worked out. And I think you got to keep it peppered in there so that you don't lull other teams, your coming opponents, into sleep, because every team is going to watch 3 to 4 weeks of film in the past. They might dig farther back than that. Probably not. It's usually the latest 3 or 4 weeks. And so it's a nice cycle there. Thank you, Stevie. Appreciate it as always. Holly's in the house. Doug's in the house. A lot of members. Kyle made it. I'm glad you guys are here. Night Hunter. Nice to see you guys. Random Chiefs fan, welcome. And you are one of our illustrious members as well. I appreciate that. I didn't see the random part before, but thanks. And thanks for the super chat. Which part of the team showed the most improvement tonight? Special teams, offense, or defense? In my opinion, it was the Super Bowl caliber team tonight. I can't argue with you. They looked that good. I will say this, as a unit, I think the defense improved the most or played up to their potential the most. This is what I expect from them every week. This is the kind of performance we should expect from them given their talent. Now, special teams had a nice night too. I know that the Hughes thing was a fumble. I didn't think that it was live. Everybody tells me that I'm crazy, including Matt Derrick, who knows better than me. But so you take that away from the special teams a little bit. The Tommy thing, I was a little surprised they went for that fake at that time. But that was interesting to me. They certainly executed it well, and now it's on the film. So every team for the next month or 3 has to prepare for that. And I think that's going to be important as well. Certainly on the offensive side, some guys stood up. Mahomes was clicking. Travis was prime Travis. And Darryl, I think this was peak Darryl. When I talk about Darryl being able to run downhill pretty well and to be able to catch out of the backfield, tonight showed you this is the game that I think Darryl is capable of every week. And that's why I've taught him for the last couple of years, because not only for Darryl, but this was him. This is what he does best, I think. And I think, honestly, it was redemption for him on that Super Bowl drop that everybody thought was egregious. This catch tonight was better than what that would have been, other than being in the biggest game alive. So good for him. I think it was redemption for Dan Sorensen making a big play there too. I don't know that it doesn't fix anything. Dan is still Dan, but hey, like I've always said, he has a nose for the ball and he does make plays. And so I think this probably should give him some more confidence. Hopefully we'll get him a little bit more fired up as well. I know a lot of you guys are Dan fans, so that's great. I do not disparage people from believing in the people they believe in. Dave, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. If nobody brings it up here, I'm going to go to my lead topic. Travis, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you as always. Wiley versus Crosby. This is a decent one. Thank you, 811. I think Wiley played up to what the range of what we saw him play against the Saints last year. And that was the game that I based my thought on, that he should be okay in the Super Bowl, and he wasn't. So it certainly is matchup dependent, but I think this one in particular was a lot. I didn't realize that they had been at school for more than a year together. I thought it was just a single season. They clearly know each other better than I thought they did, and that I think was an advantage. So a couple of other thoughts here. Kyle, tight ends pulling. Yes, I thought they used the tight ends a lot tonight to help Chip. I know the broadcast went over it late about how Travis had been delaying, where he's getting a block and getting a shoulder and then getting out the pattern. I think that delayed action is going to be key for them going down the postseason or to the postseason, and certainly in it, because I think that disruption of flow, I think, is what gives Travis that advantage. And this is what you need them to do. You need them to get the ball out and get some yak. And when you have everybody playing these deep zones, the yak is there to be had if you can get the ball out and get it delivered. So I was really happy to see it. Angry Drunken German, cheers. Glad that you're doing well, and thank you for the super chat. Miss Holly. They call her Holly Hundo over on Tom's channel, and I think that's going to stick, Miss Holly. The Avatar back in full force. I like that. I hope you enjoyed your boy tonight. I just want to know from you, you'll have to hit me in the chat. Was he better with his foot or with his arm tonight? I don't know. It may be a toss-up. Bet no one is making fun of my avatar now, huh? All he gets a flag thrown at her for taunting. You are perfectly fine. Taunt away. Seth, what are your thoughts on the D-line? It didn't feel like Ingram played as much for me tonight, and I even have it here in my notes that I thought he put in quality reps when he was on the field, but maybe he was just resting a little bit. I'm not sure, because it didn't feel like he played as much as he played against Green Bay, his first game in town. So I want to follow up on that, and I want to hear some more about it. I had another one here that Chris going back outside in a lot of sets, I think, helped them as well. I thought that he still looks more comfortable and, quite frankly, better on the interior. But knowing that he can come out there and do some work, I think that keeps everybody on edge. And I think that affects an offensive line as a whole. Ms. Holly, again, thank you, our Uber contributor, and for supporting the channel and all the things that the guys do around here. That helps us with all of it, to have the ability to put out more content. Thank you. There you go, California. I'm glad you're out there on your own. Just go rogue, man. It's all good. Carter, how are you? Compared to the struggles earlier this season, what do you think the team did different this game on both sides of the ball to finally come alive? I will tell you this. Patrick looked more relaxed to me. I don't know what it is. I think the weight of the world on his shoulders trying to adapt to what he was seeing that he wasn't really prepared for before. I think that was affecting him. And I think he finally looked like he settled into, oh, I can still get things done. They're just not the same things. And I'll still have an opportunity to take some shots. He did take some shots. And I even said, I was like, they're there when you take it. I think one of those shots would have actually connected. I wish McCole would have learned to jump for that last ball. Patrick did throw it into double coverage. But I think if McCole would have elevated there at the goal line, I think he would have come down from it because he was in good position. I don't think it was a question of accuracy there. I thought is pretty well placed. And so I think that was probably the overall effect because I think Patrick has a ripple effect on all of the offense. On the defensive side, it just seemed like the aggression was, again, more relaxed. Like they understand where when you blitz somebody, when you bring Dan off the side or you bring L'Jarius out of the nickel, you understand where your weak spot is. Most quarterbacks are taught, you recognize a blitzer, you go right where he was. That's how you attack them. But they seemed comfortable in understanding that. They seemed comfortable in what their rotations were going to be in order to contradict that. And again, just felt like something changed at the end of that last game. And certainly this week going into this game, that they all just felt more like, hey, we got this. We understand where we're supposed to be. We're going to relax a little bit and just play ball. And that's what it felt like to me. Drunken German, thank you very much again. We appreciate it. Bill, how are you? Is Dan Sorensen the starter now? Seriously, though, why Chris D instead of more Ingram? That is a question to me. And I think the only reason that Chris was out at end as much is because maybe something was going on with Ingram. Ward left with an illness. Evidently, there was a bug going around a little bit that some guys were not feeling that great during the week, and it caught up with Travarius tonight. Evidently, Willie Gay had the same thing. They're the only two guys that they talked about post-game. Neither an actual injury. They just both had this kind of like nagging illness. I didn't see or hear any reports of anybody, vomiting or getting sick on the sidelines or anything like that, but something was going on. I wonder if that didn't hit Melvin as well. I don't know. It's all conjecture at this point. Hopefully we'll find out as the week goes on, man. Derek, I understand, man. Unfortunately, it's not the camera. The camera's gold. It's my terrible internet connection. And I live up here way in the mountains at altitude. And until Elon gets me my Starlink, which I am on the beta list for, till old daddy Elon comes through, I'm going to be stuck. But when he does, I should have a much better connection. It's only been 3 years coming. But right now, this is the best connection I can get at my home. So that's where I'm stuck, bud. Jake, thank you for the support as always. If you had 4 game balls to hand out, 2 on offense, 2 on defense, who would you give them to? Very simply for me, I would discount Patrick this game. I thought Patrick played great. Patrick played like I expect him to play every week, though. So this was a return to excellence for him. I thought Travis not only gutted it out, but was a refined version of himself. It wasn't that he was getting loose and getting all that yak because of the coverage and because he was able to exploit it. He was earning all that through contact, through still getting beat up, still having to turn and not being able to catch the ball on the run. So I thought Travis put in great work. I thought Darryl really proved what he's capable of and stepped up in a game where they had to use the running back as many ways as possible to keep pressure off of Patrick. And I thought that was key. Those would be my 2. On defense, it's L'Jarius Sneed completely and utterly, and it's getting to be the point where it's every week. I thought the secondary played great as a whole, as a unit. I know that Fenton had the PI early. He also came back and had that big play at the end to pop the ball out. I thought Tyron had a chance to jump a couple of balls. I thought he generally played in space. There's a couple of miscommunications, a couple of things where Tyron guessed and tried to make a play and got beat for it. I warned you guys, if you heard Locked on Chiefs, and I think I even said it on the Chief in the North, I warned you all about Brian Edwards. That guy can take advantage of a defense that doesn't respect him, and clearly that happened tonight. It has happened a few other times. So L'Jarius is one, and I have to say on the other side, I mean, you could easily go with Chris Jones, but I'm going to give it to Frank Clark tonight. I don't think he produced that much pressure, but he punched the pocket a lot. And he is part of why they held Josh Jacobs to 16 yards. 16 yards. This was a key to this game. And I think that Frank helped that, especially on the edges, because I think they want to bounce out. Once they couldn't get going inside, they wanted to bounce out. And I thought I saw Frank make a couple of plays where he gets no statistical credit, but he made a couple of plays that without him would have been ugly. So those are my two on defense. Let's see. I thought that in the third quarter, Carr did get a kind of a bead on what they were doing. They had to change it up again. And I think, like you saw those first couple of drives where he understood where they were, and Spags hadn't really changed it up at half. It took that, they're going to drive on us now. And then they changed some things up. I'm going to have to take a look at the 22 this week. Dan should be back as well. So one of us will definitely get film room for you guys on Wednesday. Let's see what else in my notes. There was a problem where there was 3 plays. I think they only got hurt by one of them, but there were 3 plays where they got hitch out on a wide receiver. And that was part of like the motion and the play design. And it just, the rule set was not working. And I thought it put them in some suspect predicaments that could have hurt them a lot more, to tell you the truth. That's where I'm at. Let's see. Gooch, thank you again. Sweet baby Jesus Sorensen earned himself a 1-year contract on a jump ball. Hey, as long as he's not the starter, as long as you're not asking him to cover guys one-on-one, I think we all can all take a breath. He still has some ability. He has always had a nose for the ball. He just can't be relied on. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to run him down, and I'm glad for him, because I think it sounds like from what I heard this week that he was pretty down. So I'm glad to see him redeem himself in his own eyes, if absolutely nobody else's. Night Hunter, thank you very much. If you love the Chiefs destroying the Raiders game, give me a rogue. Yeah, I like that one. If you guys do that, just record it with your phone. I'm trying to collect as many as I can. I'm going to put a commercial together or something. Rogue, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That stuff is fun, and it helps us make people enjoy it. Javante, how are you? Every team in the NFL is watching this game thinking to themselves, oh crap, they're back. Yep, I completely agree with you. And I even tweeted that out just to piss off some of my friends that cover other teams, because they're like, they've been asking me, like, you're not talking him up as much as you used to. I'm like, well, he's not playing very well right now. I was like, when he gets through it, I'll talk him up. And they're like, oh, you're giving up. Like, they called me turncoat. Like I'm supposed to be fan first or something. And you guys know that's not my gig. I try to be unbiased. I try to tell the league what it wants to know so that I can, work in league circles. And that's the whole reason. But yeah, I was like, wow, you better watch out. Like, the NFL is on notice. If you can't force him into being uncomfortable, this is what you're going to get. And it's just as good as it ever was. Watch out. Thank you, Javante. Appreciate it. Big Chief Sean, I hope you guys saw it. In the processing of the video, didn't get out till about the later games were endings, but we got Sean's video out tonight. And that's the big question. Sean nails it right here. Is this permanent? Is this enough? The last drive in the last game, in this game, is it enough to springboard him? Or was this like super emotional peak because it was the rival? That is what remains to be seen. If the leadership within the locker room is what I think it is, this should be the first step in a long walk towards the Super Bowl. That's what it should be. Because, I mean, for all of our hemming and hawing and complaining and seeing and being down, right? They're now the AFC West leaders, and they're the 4th seed in the playoffs. It means they're hosting a wild card game. Before this game started, they were 9th place out of the playoffs. That's how much this has changed tonight. So as long as they keep that up, I think they're going to be okay. Can you chase and catch up to the Tennessee Titans, who are 2 full games ahead of you, and try to get the first round bye? I don't think so. We'll see. They lost Julio, right? So they're not exactly pumping on all cylinders. We'll see what happens. It is a long season, but this season has turned here in the last 5 quarters, and it has really made a difference. Chief, you're right. They did get Noah Gray going. Good for them. He played a lot more snaps. He did get a couple of targets. He blew the first couple ones. I know they were ad libs and everything, and you got to give him a little credit, but the touchdown was a nice play. I would think we can give him that, but it seems that they are starting to use him a little bit more. He had a couple of nice blocks as well. A lot of people were saying that he took some of Jody's targets. I think that is actually true, but he needed this first 9 weeks to get ready. Hopefully, for Noah Gray in particular, this is just a step forward. And I'm hoping, Cal Chief, that is like a longer version of what we're going to see from Gordon. And maybe here in the next couple of weeks, it should click for him too. And they can kind of do the same thing where they start to pepper him, not just like a target or two, but like really an effort to get him the ball. And I think that's really going to help. Alex, what did you have? Short passes from Mahomes were exactly what they were looking for. Yep, it kept the tempo. And I wrote in my notes like 4 different times, tempo, tempo, tempo. Keep them moving, because as much as it's hard for you to get the quick passing game going and get back to the line and get ready for the next play, it's just as hard, if not harder, for the defense, because they don't know where they're going. It is, I think, the most underrated thing that NFL offenses don't do, because you see them be effective in the 4-minute offense when it comes down to the end of halves, right? They need to run tempo all the time. And I think that is very important. I think that's going to show them as well. Reed finally showing up. You're right, Cole. That was nice. And it wasn't just the sack. I saw him pushing the pocket. I have him in my notes a couple of times as well. He was facilitating what Jones was able to do as well. And man, Chris Jones, just the leaping to bat down balls. I mean, that's how you handle a double team and still affect the play, right? That's playmaking ability. And you guys wonder why do I do this these crazy animal metrics with Rogue Analytics? Bear metric, that's why. Because it's not just that you're getting pressure on some downs, it's what are you doing else to affect the ball game? Are you getting TFLs? Are you knocking down passes? That's what the bear rate is, to show you what the front four are doing. And that's why I track that stuff. And this year in particular, I hope you guys are ready for the draft cycle, because once we're there, now that I'm doing the Locked On NFL Draft Show with Eric Crocker every day, I have a much better insight as where we're going. We're going to get funky with some of this stuff. I think you guys are going to dig it. Dirty Hall, welcome to the memberships. I hope that you enjoy it. I can't see what level you're at, but if you are at the rookie level, just hit me at that address. I will show it again. RGR Podcasts at Gmail. And then I can get you your invite, get you into the Discord, and you can start talking with everybody. Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard. Mr. Gooch will be in there with you, I am absolutely sure. Brown looked the best I've seen him since he came in total. Outside of Wiley, this line was amazing. 50-plus dropbacks and only hit twice. Yes, I completely agree with you. I think there was a couple of pressures, but I think a lot of the pocket was, again, like last week, where it was adaptation. It was acceptable abandonment of the pocket at that point. So I agree with you. And I thought this would happen 4 or 5 weeks ago. I thought week 5, 6 was about the goal. Evidently, it took this long, but now they're seeing. And the quick pass game is definitely helping Orlando Brown too, and to hit his sets and to not have to get as much depth because the ball's out. That does certainly help. And hey, welcome aboard, you guys. We hit 1,000 in the stream here. First time we've done that post game this season. So nice to see everybody. Thank you very much for being here, all of you, especially you regulars, but welcome to everyone who's new. If you just joined, I'm Ryan. This is my channel, and this is what we do. A lot of contributors here. Just trying to kind of dink around, see if there's any of you guys bringing up things that I hadn't got in my notes. Why did they start guarding and not use them? And that's really the question. I think it's just, I think it's a process still. I think it'll get there. I'm hoping that it's on the no grade timeline. It'll tighten up. Somebody please don't say 4K to me. Yeah, that's true. You don't need me in 4K. Good Lord. I don't think anyone's eyes deserve that. I will tell you that. Lego, has Pringle a decent case for the number 3 spot tonight? I think he did, but I'll say this too. I think McCole had a couple of flashes. I thought he fought hard. I thought he ran hard. I thought DeMarcus Robinson got north and south. Good for him. Hey, it's like we've been begging you to do that for 3 years. I think that's pretty good. So yes, but I think Pringle showed again that he can be the guy on the spot when you need him. Finn, you're absolutely right. KU, look out. I'm gonna have to change the background, get my helmets back out now that KU's a school we're talking about again. Rock chalk, everybody. Let's see. Only time I will ever say this. Thanks, Scooch. I appreciate that very much. Reed, how are you? With D. Williams playing so well recently, do you see the backfield shape up with CH returns? I think they're going to try to squeeze Daryl in. Clyde in right away. He'll return to the starting role, but I think it will be more of a platoon. I think they've shown that. And I know Gore didn't get a whole lot of traction tonight. I think Gore, much like Daryl, is a rhythm runner. I think they need to have drives. I think they need to platoon by drive and get that volume to get them going. And I think the nice thing was you saw how many targets Daryl got tonight. That will directly come over to Clyde. And I think Clyde is as good, if not better, of a pass catcher than Darrell is. And you guys know how much I love Darrell, but that is the truth. So I think what we've seen is the evolution of the role, hopefully, that they can maintain. And both those guys should be able to roll in that kind of job within the offense. Let's see. Lego has Watson Fenton demanded more playtime with their play tonight. Fenton certainly has. Fenton has unseated Mike Hughes. I mean, even in here, I thought Hughes came in and he didn't give anything up that was drastic. I thought he played fine. And Fenton is what Fenton is. You're going to get those, mistakes like the PI, and he's going to make up for it. But Fenton is your number 3. No ifs, ands, or buts. What Armani gets, I'm glad he was out there. I'll have to see the 22 for him because I didn't see him on screen enough to really know what I thought. I will try to get to that this week. And you guys, I don't have a whole lot left. Hitch still at middle linebacker. I thought he got exposed a couple of times, but he also made a couple of plays, so I can do with that. Big thing on defense, and Hitch was part of this, at least on 2 plays. 1 for 9 is what the Oakland Raiders went on 3rd down. That is winning defense. It doesn't matter what else you do. That is winning defense. Junior, thank you very much. It's how you finish. So-called top NFL teams are slowing down. The Chiefs are getting hot and comfortable. RGR cigars should be the thing, by the way. And cigars, huh? I don't smoke cigars. I never have. I have like a sinus reaction to them. But you know what, Junior? If you want to start recording some cigar stuff, I'll figure out a way to use it. I just need somebody who knows something about it. But I think it's really interesting, like the lifestyle thing channels on YouTube are like very much like on specific topics. Like there's a whole cigar world that I know nothing about. Dirty Hall, thank you again. So the Chiefs secretly signed Desean Jackson. Yeah, they said just drop everything that comes your way when you're on the field with us. It's fine. He looked pretty dejected too. I'm guessing he had an opportunity to come to Kansas City and he turned it down. So maybe that stings just a little bit more tonight. Longmore, and I agree with you. And thank you for the support as always. Creed, I'll have to see. I don't recall any pressure that he gave up. I thought he looked the best on screens that he's looked all season. Again, getting comfortable in what they're doing. I do feel like maybe I didn't give it the credit that it's due and how hard it was to make this kind of transition. I expect this team to look like this 4 or 5 weeks ago, but it's here now. And luckily, the way the rest of the AFC in particular and a lot of others have played, it hasn't hurt them that much. They're still well in the playoff hunt and maybe even in it for the big thing. Thank you. John Collins, thank you. If Gordon gets going, how unstoppable is his offense? With a legit third, it's going to be crazy because you already see what they can do by trying to just take away Kelce and Hill. You see what Darrell gets, right? And you see the other guys make some plays, right? If you have a significant, a constant third, yeah, it's going to get hairy real quick. Watch out. The NFL should be on notice. Bill, thank you very much, as always. Did someone talk trash to Andy about his screenplay design? Some of the screens were beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I did, because they haven't been running them very well. I will freely admit that. They look good tonight. I especially like the middle screen that Travis got, I think, in the early second quarter. I was really happy with the way that one developed. And again, Tooney, Creed, aces. And even Wiley did some decent work on one of them, if I remember correctly. Let's leave Trey alone. He can just be the anchor. Kenneth, thank you for your support. What are your thoughts on Juan Thornhill being out there the whole game? That's exactly what I'm looking for. And quite frankly, that's part of why Dan got to do what he got to do. It helped Tyron do what he does. Having Juan out there is the steadying force here. I would have liked to see Juan get his hands on that interception. I think he and Dan Sorensen both got their hands on it at the same time. So as long as the Chief comes down with it, you can't really complain. But I think Juan is doing good work. I do notice just still every now and then a little bit of hesitancy. So he's not 100%. I would call him probably 90% right now. And that's clearly helping the defense. Thank you, Kenneth. Michael, thank you. As always, I don't know what time it is in Sweden. It's got to be what? 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 a.m., something like that. But hey, good day. I hope you have a good one today. Thank you for the support. FLTB, thank you. I know you were a big factor in helping us get the Discord off the ground as well. So I want to say thank you to you as well. Over 1K in here tonight. Dang. Yep. It's kind of fun, right? Haven't had that since playoffs. Well, since the last couple of games of the regular season. I'm glad everybody's back. Tiger, thank you. Look at third down. I think I saw like -3 yards on third down against the Chiefs defense. Verify. I will have to check that out. If that isn't in the game book, I'll have to go to the advanced stats on PFF or something. But I'll take a look at that. And Michael, thank you. Is this sustainable against cover 2 man? It is. You saw some of that tonight, but it's a lot of cover 3 tonight. It is. It's just that the holes are different. They're in different spots. This clearly, single high is something that they are comfortable with in attacking, whether it's zone or man. But now they've seen it work. And I think that this is the key to going forward. And Michael, I do think that they can continue to do that. There'll be a couple of teams that have really good safeties that'll cut things off that they're going to have to be wary of, but I don't see that really being a problem until the playoffs. Scott Pringle stepped up. Yes. I was really happy to see it too, especially late. I thought he's been so good about being who he is and maintaining his performance on special teams so that he's in a position to be in the rotation. Really happy for him. Bob Sutton, welcome. Glad that you're doing all right, Bob. I hope retirement is treating you well. Jeremy, Melvin. Yes. Didn't get a lot of snaps, but man, that one, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that a few times. I will tell you that. Mike, thank you. Appreciate it. Been watching for years since it was just you. No cool backgrounds. Never make the live vids, unfortunately, just showing some support. Hey, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it, especially for somebody old school. I know it probably doesn't look much better now that I'm doing more lives. It's more of this grainy, crappy picture instead of my pre-recorded stuff that looks normal and great. But I try to do some of that. And thanks for being here that long. That's awesome to hear. The channel's been going since going on 3 years now, you guys. So we're growing pretty good. See a lot of KU fans in here. Rock chalk. Okay, maybe Aaron missed something because I'm gonna put this guy out of here. Sorry, I gotta look in the chat here. If you have some kind of slur in your name, I will boot you. You don't have to type any comments. I just will boot you. I don't care. Okay, good. I think I got that out of there, guys. I don't know if you were okay. Yeah, I think I got it, Gene. I'm not sure. In fact, I am caught up in the chat now. I'll finish my notes. You guys tell me if there's anything else that I need to hit, okay? Just a bot. Okay, thank you, Junior. Sorry it took me so long to do that, you guys. I was so far behind in the chat, I didn't see it until now. Last thoughts. Good throw by Tommy. I know Holly loves that. Had a couple of, as good as the defense was, they did have a couple of other takeaway possibilities. They weren't able to come through. So still room to improve, but nice. A couple of overthrows. I think Patrick, like, he's been so keep it back. When he did get a couple of options, he did overthrow a couple of balls. I think there was that one to DeMarcus in the end zone that he could have had that probably would have scored. There was another one as well. Like, there were opportunities there. But I think as he settles in to what this new look is going to be with all these deep zones, he's still going to have those selective shots he can take. I think he won't be so like, oh, hey, somebody's there and overpowered. I think that was just emotional. That was just like, oh, an opportunity to do what I want to do. And I think he just got away from him a little bit. I think that will settle down. The screens, the cross blocks by No Gray in particular stood out. The sneak play. I am so relieved to see Andy just put in Blake Bell. That's what I'm happening. That's what I'm hoping happens. Sorry, I'm half reading a thing here. John Collins, Rock Chalk for sure, and the linebackers look better to me as well. I think what you saw is, despite being out of position for Nick Bolton, he still made a couple of nice open field tackles. I think he had a TFL as well, tackle for loss, if I'm doing too many acronyms, you guys. I thought Willie looked good on a couple of different plays, and I know he didn't feel well later, so they took him out. I saw Neiman give up some yardage, but it wasn't gratuitous like it has been in the past. So, we'll We'll take it. But the starting linebackers, I think they're decent. I would still switch Bolton and Hitchens. I just would. I think that would help both of them, but that's me. So that probably won't happen until next year. I don't see them really making that change. Because I think they're a little stubborn when it comes to that kind of stuff. I was comfortable and a little bit happily surprised that they didn't go to Renfrow more. I thought Renfrow was the guy that could really exploit this defense, and I thought Edwards would work off of Renfrow's targets because he can just get loose so quickly. He's just so wiry. So I think they made a mistake, and I think that played right into what the Chiefs wanted to do as well. So I'm glad for that. Will this film start to peel people out of their two highs? Not necessarily, Jonathan, because I think Darryl had more success in the pass game than the run game. Overall, I'd have to look. Let's scroll and find out. Sorry, you guys, there's going to be a little bit of delay as I scroll versus what you see. So let's take a look. I wanted to say it was 4-ish yards a carry is what I thought. Yeah, 3.9 for only 46, but they still hand the ball off enough. Honestly, Derek Gore got more of the Darryl treatment tonight where he got it in obvious running situations and he met a lot of resistance and that kind of thing. I think if they continue that, they'll help some of that. But if they hit the low crossers and the middle penetrating routes, I think that will pull the safeties down. So let's look for them to do that some more as well. Let's see. I want to make sure I hit all the super chatters. I don't want to leave anybody behind. I got Michael. I got Bob. Kevin Steele. I missed yours. I apologize for that. Oh, there it is. And yours was Josh Gordon ever going to be part of the gameplay? I think that he will. I can't say exactly when, but I think that he will. I hope that it comes here in the next couple of weeks. And quite frankly, it might be after the bye because they don't want to change a whole lot of things. They need to get to the bye and get some rest, and I think they're going to be okay at that point. But honestly, that's the best time for them to start adding some things that make them even more difficult to defend. As you see, I have the post game here on my television. Bills are 6-3. Ravens are 6-3. Chiefs are 6-4. It's the only reason the Chiefs are the 4 seed. If those guys had a fourth loss, and it's just because of the way the schedule ran out that they've played 9 games and the Chiefs have played 10. If they had a fourth loss as well, the Chiefs would be the number 2 seed right now today. It's just about catching the Titans. I don't think that that's going to happen unless the Titans start to stumble pretty badly. But, we'll play it by ear on that one. Somebody who's back. Oh, good Lord. Banned. Wow. Who comes in here and says that kind of crap? Raiders fans are probably mad, Finn. You're probably right. I don't know that was a Raiders fan, but I think that's just somebody taking advantage of the fact that I'm not running the chat very well, and I'm missing Aaron right now. I thought Aaron was in here earlier, but maybe not. So you know what? I'm not going to subject you guys to that any longer. We're going to finish the super chats, and I pretty much covered all of my notes. So I want to make sure for that. Let's see. Oh, who said that? Jonah. How dumb am I for saying Kelce is the GOAT? You're not. It will become a discussion. You're a little premature, let me tell you. But I do see a day when we are all sitting around here discussing why or who of the Kansas City Chiefs' best tight ends in history are the best NFL tight end in history. I think they have a chance to be 1 and 2 as it all goes down. It's about longevity and keeping Travis healthy. And I think a healthy Kelce is what we all want to see. So hopefully before anybody else joins back with that crap, we will call it a night. Thank you guys for putting up with that. Thank you for all 1,000 of you for being in here tonight. If you would like and sub and join the channel, I would appreciate that. Hit the bell notification so you know what comes out next. I probably won't have a reaction because we're up late tonight, but I will be here tomorrow night at 6 Central to answer your questions, and we'll go over even more. So join the memberships, like, sub, and hit the bell. Appreciate everything tonight. Even check out the RGR store. We got some cool shirts and stuff in there. I'm working on a hat distributor. I haven't found anything that I'm happy with yet, and I'm not going to sell hats until I'm happy with them. So that's what we're doing right now. I hope you guys have a great night. I got to go do the Locked On Chiefs show. We'll have that podcast out for you tomorrow. You guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you then.